Watching from atop Copp's Hill, General Gage handed his telescope to Abijah Willard, a loyalist who had sought safety in Boston, and asked if he recognized anyone among the rebels who might be in command. Willard did. William Prescott was a fellow soldier from the colonial wars, as well as his brother-in-law. "Will he fight?" Gage demanded. "He could not answer for Prescott's men," Willard replied, "but Prescott will fight you to the gates of hell." Now came the stuff of legend. Howe ordered 1,500 men to cross the Charles River. They landed unopposed on the beach below Bunker Hill. Prescott's men in their trenches were content to watch because they were short of gunpowder. Howe formed his troops on a rise about 100 yards inland, but what he saw next gave him pause. Colonel John Stark's 1st New Hampshire Regiment, about 400 men, had taken up positions behind a rail fence and a hastily erected stone barricade on the Mystic Beach, anchoring Prescott's vulnerable left flank. Seeing this massing of rebel troops, Howe sent for reinforcements. By the time they arrived, he had about 2,200 men in the field against likely half that number in the immediate vicinity. For one fleeting moment, the difference between Lexington and what was about to occur below Bunker Hill stood in sharp relief. This could not be called an accidental encounter. As General Howe's troops advanced toward Prescott's and Stark's positions, late on the afternoon of June 17, 1775, it was clear to any observer that the outcome would be a pitched battle. As British troops advanced uphill in 2 long lines and in column against Stark's position, the bulk of the American line stood silent, keenly aware of its limited gunpowder. "Hold your fire," commanders reminded their men. The quote, most associated with the Battle of Bunker Hill, is "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes." Now, who said it, perhaps William Prescott, or how often it was repeated, is uncertain. Another account claims that behind the stone barricade, John Stark admonished his men not to fire until they could see the enemy's white-colored gaiters. Onward then, Howe's regulars came. At perhaps 50 yards, the command "Fire" resounded, and the entire rebel line exploded with a thunderous roar. The British troops staggered and fell back in disarray. Howe ordered them to reform and move forward again. Armchair strategists have faulted Howe for marching his troops directly up Bunker Hill. But this frontal maneuver was not Howe's initial intent. He had placed great faith in his light infantry to turn the left end of the rebel line and create havoc along it. After that, the heavy grenadier companies were to bulldoze through with fixed bayonets. 11 companies of light infantry, about 350 men, rushed headlong in a column of 4s against the stone barricade, where Stark's New Hampshire men stood 3 deep. Their first volley decimated the attacking column. As other companies moved forward to take its place, they gained no more than a few yards before more volleys rent the air.